Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Harrison Gross, CEO and co-founder of Lucid Eyewear. My company and I have a mission to make smart eyewear more accessible, enjoyable, and useful for the average optical consumer. Since 2018, we've delivered smart eyewear to the optical market that really meets all of the needs of traditional prescription glasses while also allowing the wearer to stay connected to their digital life. In this presentation, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the history of smart eyewear, where we think that the space is heading, and a couple of useful tips for opticians on entering the smart eyewear space. This first shot shows a theoretical interface of an AR smart glass that allows you to interact with your environment and get some information right on a heads-up display superimposed over your vision. For example, we can have our schedule here on the right, we can have navigation on the left or directly in front of us. This is just an example of a potential future interface that might be useful for someone using AR smart glasses. So what is smart eyewear? It's glasses that are supported with a range of technology features. These features can be mostly for fun, like listening to music and podcasts. They can be useful for connectivity, like phone calls and Zoom calls. Or they can be features that compensate for a particular deficiency in the wearer, such as glasses that help low vision patients and hard of hearing patients navigate their environment. Often, smart glasses are a hybrid of wearable tech, such as Bluetooth or heads-up displays and eyeglasses or sunglasses. It usually provides the utility beyond that of typical glasses and may or may not be suitable for ophthalmic use. In this presentation, we'll mostly be focusing on smart eyewear that is suitable for ophthalmic. Smart glasses as a term often refers to glasses with an augmented reality display, whereas smart eyewear is used for other types of smart glasses that tend to not have displays. And we have a couple of examples of key smart eyewear here on the bottom. Google Glass, which in a way started this whole category about 10 years ago. This was a very unusual looking pair of glasses. In many cases didn't even have lenses. And it used that little brick to superimpose images over your vision. There were a lot of issues with this product, but it was sort of like the concept car of smart eyewear, and it showed what was possible in the future as these technologies evolve. Next, you have Lucid Light. These are our glasses. You can see it's much more of a normal eyeglass form factor, and we really have a focus on having a normal front plate to enable the insertion of even high-index prescription lenses. Next, you have the Ampere Dusk. This is an interesting pair of glasses with what's called electrochromic lenses, which are lenses that change the tint thanks to an electric current that comes from the temples. And finally, Mad Gaze Glow. This is more of a mixed reality product, which has a combination of some video overlay features over your vision and also the ability to look at a full-size display through the glasses, almost like a virtual TV in the eyewear. And not really suitable for ophthalmic use, and more of a limited use product that could be, let's say, used on a flight to watch a movie. Let's take a look at the timeline of smart eyewear. It actually all started in the 60s and 70s when head-mounted displays were added to Air Force helmets. This was the first practical use of augmented reality, and is a feature that's still used today for fighter pilots. We went on to see a couple of other products come out in the intervening period. The first eyewear in something of a normal form factor with smart technology was the Oakley Thumps product, which came out in 2004. This actually had onboard memory. It didn't use Bluetooth. It was just like those old MP3 players where you load the song onto the device, and then you'd be able to play it back later from the onboard memory. This frame actually had earbuds that hung down from the temples and went into your ear. Pretty interesting product. It was quite expensive at the time, but also just interesting to see an early entry into the Bluetooth eyewear, or sorry, an early version of the Bluetooth eyewear that's commonly used today. Next, we sort of have the rise of VR with headsets like the Oculus Rift coming into the fore around 2010. And then a little bit later in the 2010s, we start seeing the emergence of more sophisticated smart glasses designed to compensate for low vision. So these are glasses that do a range of things, such as reproduce your visual field, significantly enlarged directly in front of your eye. Some of them convert visual signals into audio patterns that allow fully blind patients to be able to navigate their environment. These are really more specialized medical devices that are designed to compensate for a particular disability. Next, we have Google Glass, which I just mentioned, coming onto the scene around 2014. Wasn't really fully commercially available, but was just an early indicator of things to come in smart eyewear. And then around 4 or 5 years ago, you start having frames emerging onto the landscape that really match the look and feel of traditional optical eyeglasses, and that ability to correct vision and be worn all day comfortably and look normal. So the smart eyewear category, so optically oriented smart eyewear, started coming out about 2021, which is when we launched our first slim temple smart glass. Let's take a look at smart eyewear as a spectrum. There are two main scales of smart eyewear in my view. One has to do with the smart features. How much are those smart features sort of supplanting your traditional senses with information? And how much, on the mixed reality side, and then down on the augmented reality side, are the smart glasses focused on enhancing your senses rather than replacing them with a digital feed? And then on the left, we have products that are designed more as a consumer wearable. So these are products more oriented to gaming applications or professional engineering and so on, versus products that are geared for ophthalmic or medical purposes. So along the spectrum, we have a number of products that we've plotted out. All the way on the left as the consumer wearable would be something like the electrochromic glasses, as these were non-prescription adaptable in most cases. And then you have also the HoloLens and the Magic Leap and other head-mounted displays, like Apple Vision Pro, for example, that are really designed for limited use basis to perform certain sophisticated computing tasks. And then on the right, you have products like ours, Lucid Light, which are designed to correct your vision, but also add some connectivity features to that. In our case, the ability to access AI through your voice and several other functionalities. So what is the present value of smart eyewear? Basically, they provide a range of additional tech features that you can add on to normal glasses, including the display of virtual graphics, Bluetooth audio interfaces, photo capture, like in the case of the Meta glasses, and even in some cases, we're seeing biofeedback glasses that measure things like your posture and give you information about that throughout the day. And of course, various combinations of these features. Most smart eyewear at present is not suitable for all-day ophthalmic use due to a couple of important hurdles. Usually it has to do with weight, lens technologies impacting the ability for the lenses to be glazed, and form factors that are just not stylish or light enough for all-day wear. And in general, smart glasses tend to cost higher than traditional glasses, especially when prescriptions are added. So Bluetooth glasses, very simple. Usually you have an ophthalmic front plate made out of acetate or titanium, and then all the technology is baked into the temple. So in our glasses, it's actually quite simple. We have a battery in the earpiece, we have a speaker in the middle temple, and a Bluetooth chip and a microphone at the front of the temple. And all of that is sealed within, in our case, we're now using TR90 plastic, which is heat adjustable as well. So you can see it's all very concise, and the components have been miniaturized significantly from what was possible in previous generations to enable smart eyewear temples that really look and feel normal. We often say one of the marks of our products is that people can't tell that you're wearing smart glasses until you tell them, which is a really nice feature. That sort of discretion aspect of the smart eyewear is very important for mass market adoption. So where can we expect smart eyewear to go in the future? I think there are a couple of definitely important R&D development trajectories that are underway right now in smart eyewear. I would expect smart eyewear with visual displays to continue to get more compact, have better displays, longer battery life, more stylish form factors over time. So I expect that even the most complicated AR smart glasses will kind of be brought into the normal consumer realm in the next few years and be accessible to most consumers. In my view also, the smartphone is not a permanent device. We're not going to be using smartphones for the rest of humanity. It will eventually be surpassed by ergonomic wearables that match or exceed the functionality of the smartphone. So the phone of the future may not be a phone, could be glasses, a watch, a combination of wearables that's just more ergonomic to access. As the number of companies producing smart eyewear increases, we can expect the cost of smart eyewear to come down and the overall market share of smart eyewear versus traditional frames to increase. And it's easy to imagine in the future, just like smartwatches have essentially supplanted regular watches in most cases, smart eyewear could also take the place of regular eyewear for a lot of people. Here's another cool example of a potential future interface you could have in an AR smart glass. This allows you really to support the wearer while they're traveling. So this would allow you to see on the virtual display in the eyewear in English any language that is being spoken, any speech that's being spoken to you in another language. So here the professor is speaking to you in Japanese, but you're able to actually read what he is saying in English. And in turn, the wearer of the glasses, you can see in the bottom right bubble, is speaking or typing into the eyewear. Now, typing into eyewear sounds a little unusual, but it could be done with gesture recognition and certain other advanced control methods that are emerging now. Perhaps in the future, even by reading your brainwaves. But for now, let's assume that the user is speaking. So he says, "Hi, Masaki, so nice to be here." And the glasses instantly provide a transliteration into Japanese of how to speak that phrase in Japanese to the other person. So this is just an example of how the AR overlays can be used to very quickly dissect useful information from your environment. So just talking a little bit more about my background and my company Lucid, we were actually the first company ever to ship prescription-fitted optical smart eyewear. We're the first company to introduce smart eyewear in a large number of styles, especially for women and youth, which is a very much underserved group in the smart eyewear landscape. We have actually, at this point, this presentation is a little bit older, but we have over 100 patents and applications now in smart eyewear. And we're really doing everything we can to make this category useful for the ophthalmic patient. So just a couple of other things that are useful to know for opticians that are that are thinking about getting into smart eyewear. This is still an emerging category, and usually a pretty good amount of training of the patient is needed in order to sell them on the value of smart eyewear. However, there's a great opportunity for smart eyewear to be a second pair sale in most opticals. It's much more exciting than offering the customer a sunglass or a backup pair. So there's a lot of potential for using smart eyewear to increase your average order value. However, because it's new and it's different, oftentimes, a demo is really what is necessary to sell this product. It's not going to sell itself on the frame board per se, especially in the case of our frames because they look like normal eyewear. So, doing a 5-minute product demo with the customer is usually what it takes to get the conversion and have them add it to their order. The lack of awareness of smart eyewear as a realistic prescription option, this is really improving as many more consumers today are aware of smart eyewear as an option compared to even a year or two ago. Optical stores that have started to carry smart eyewear will typically see enhanced revenue from the category, as smart eyewear sales tend to be additive and not replacing sales of traditional frames. Consumers are still the most comfortable with traditional frames, so of course they're going to want one. But this is something new and exciting that you could add to your lineup that can also potentially bring in some tech-forward consumers to your practice, especially if you advertise the smart eyewear on social media. And coming again to that analogy of the smartwatches, this is really important because it's just in a few years since the Apple Watch was launched. And basically, the Apple Watch came out in 2015, and just 5 years later, more smartwatches were sold worldwide than traditional watches. So this technology is coming. It's here to stay, and the market share is only going to grow over time. So the sooner that you familiarize yourself with smart eyewear and integrate it into your business, the sooner you can take advantage of this new product category to increase sales and also have a very tech-forward appearance for your practice, which I think is important for your patients to know that you're bringing them the latest and greatest technologies in optics. So just to show you also how the products are evolving, on the left is our first product ever, came out in 2018. It's quite thick, could only be really used as a sunglass because of that. And just a few years later here, you can see on the right, we have smart eyewear that's virtually indistinguishable from a designer frame. And this is just in a few years how much the product is advanced in terms of the miniaturization of the components, in terms of the styling, and the functionality has also improved significantly. Over the next few years, I continue to expect the components to miniaturize further, and we'll be able to produce smart eyewear with temples that are maybe half the size of what you're seeing on the screen. So they're only going to get more very similar to traditional eyewear over time, which is only going to enhance user adoption. A couple other important points for making smart eyewear a success for opticians. A couple of things to be aware of. Usually you should start with a few samples to assess with your staff and your typical patients. If the smart eyewear that you're considering on bringing in isn't easily mountable with a prescription, you should probably avoid it. The smart eyewear you carry should be roughly at price parity with your current frames. Merchandising support is essential for success in smart eyewear in any optical practice. You need really strong displays, and you need the ability and time to demo the products with your patients. Carry the widest possible variety of styles, because the thickness of the temples of smart eyewear, the fit is usually not quite as flexible as traditional eyewear. So having a number of different sizes and styles is really essential for success. More components inherently means lower frame margins compared to traditional frames. So you should really focus on lens upgrades, extended warranties, and other add-ons like coatings to maximize profit potential of smart eyewear. Many of our customers, for example, love their smart eyewear to have transition lenses. That's just an easy way to increase the order size when selling smart eyewear. So what are the key benefits? You'll bring in additive sales. The second pair of sales will be enhanced by having smart eyewear in your store. It's an exciting new experience for your patients. It upgrades the image of your practice as tech forward and cutting edge. It's a great holiday gift, highly giftable item overall. When outfitted with ophthalmic lenses, it's usually qualified for insurance coverage. And since they combine eye protection with hands-free wireless audio, Bluetooth eyewear like ours, for example, is an excellent tool for supporting active lifestyles and many different professions. Let's take a quick look inside of a Lucid Light frame. All right, thank you for listening to the presentation. I'm going to wrap up now with just a few notes. If you have any more questions about smart eyewear, you can email me by emailing wholesale@lucid.co, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you have about the category. Debbie Bartlett is also on our board of directors, and you can speak to her if you have any questions or you want to get in touch with the team directly. I also want to show you really quick, if you're interested in carrying Lucid Smart Eyewear on your website or on your store, we do have a wholesale program, and you can access that just by going on our website to lucid.co. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see a wholesale application link right here, wholesale sign up. And if you just fill out that information there, we'll get right back to you and we'll get you set up with some smart eyewear right away. I'm really excited to make this category a success for your optical store. I think that bringing in smart eyewear really does bring a lot of excitement, and it's really something new and different, and it really can elevate your practice. So I highly encourage you to check it out, try a few frames, and see how your patients respond. Thank you so much for listening to the presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.